For those who don't know, Rabbi Meir Balanes is the only Tana that was buried standing up, with hands up. He was so careful about Bnei Israel that if someone comes to him and he needs his help, he should be ready to daven for him instantly and not waste his time by getting up to daven for him. So he was buried standing up with hands up. So it's our bracha that it should daven for us that all our lives should be filled up with oil. And when there's oil, there's no choshech, so automatically everything else goes away. Share this week, we're going to see that obviously the Shemitah is not just a mitzvah. The Shemitah is a lesson, but a very deep lesson. We're going to go so much today in that lesson, but we're going to see quite a bit already and change our perspective about the mitzvah of Shemitah. It has some, and probably that's why it's right after Parashat Emoer. It does have some similarities to what we've learned last week. And in the shir now, tonight, yes, we're going to go into it, but this is going to be on the shir Shabbos, is going to enable us to understand even the underground of Parashat Emoer. Anyway, here we are tonight, and Bez Hashem, that we should be able to explain, according to the MS, the psukim. Let's go into the psukim. Okay, Vaydaber Hashem al Moshe. Usually, a mitzvah, the pasuk ends leimor. Here, it's going to add us two more words. Behar Sinai. Sorry. Behar Sinai. Rashi is going to go on it, and we're going to delve into it a little bit. When all the mitzvahs given in Har Sinai, that you have to point me that this mitzvah was given in Har Sinai. All the mitzvahs were given into Har Sinai. So Rashi points this out. And he says, since also the pratim of that mitzvah are mentioned in this parsha, this teaches us that all the pratim of all the other mitzvahs were also taught on Har Sinai. Basically, this is a learning curve. We're learning from the mitzvah of Shemitah about all other mitzvahs. The same way, all the details of the mitzvah were mentioned in Har Sinai. The details of that mitzvah, of this mitzvah, of the other mitzvahs were also taught on Har Sinai. Don't you think that Moshe Chas v'Shalom or anyone invented after that details? No, everything comes from Har Sinai. Okay, then why this mitzvah specifically? We have been going for quite some time, since after Parashat Yisro. So why the mitzvahs of the Korbanos, the mitzvahs of the Mishkan, the mitzvah? We had, I think we're holding in mitzvah Shin Lamed Vav. Basically, the center, almost a little bit more than the half of the mitzvahs. So why waiting till mitzvah Shin Lamed Vav in order to teach us this? Can't you do it in the previous mitzvahs? Is there anything wrong with that? But the true question on Rashi is as follows. That the Parasha of Shemitah ends up with an interesting pasuk. That the pasuk says, Eile ha-mitzvos, I forgot to write it. These are the mitzvahs, asher tziva Hashem es Moshe, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu ordered to Moshe, el bnei Israel, for the bnei Israel, behar Sinai. It says, Eile ha-mitzvos. These are, it doesn't say ve'eile ha-mitzvos, it says Eile ha-mitzvos. These one and not the others. So how can you say, Rashi, this is a stepstones, to learn from to all the other mitzvahs. No. These mitzvahs only, specifically, and that's why he repeats it at the beginning of the parasha and at the end of the parasha. Because according to you, Rashi, how would you explain the last pasuk? And obviously, there's no Rashi on it. So how do we explain that? Okay, we understand the question. Secondly, I don't want to go too much on the question, so I'm going to skip a few. I'm going to give you a few as we go along on the psukim, without even having to remember. Daber b'nei Yisrael v'amarto aleihem. We still have the daber or marto. It's fine. Ki savoyu el haaretz, when you come to Eretz Yisrael, asher ani noisen lachem, that I'm giving you. Remember those words. I'm going to highlight them. V'shavsa haaretz, and the land will rest. Shabbos Lashem, it's a Shabbos to HaKadosh Baruch. When is that? 6 shanim tizra sadecha. 6 years you will plant your field. V'shesh shanim tizmer kamecha. And 6 years you will work in your vines. V'asafta estevu asa. Again, everywhere in the Torah when it talks about this, and also later we're going to see it, is tevu ascha, is yours. Can someone else take yours during the 6 years? No. So what's tevu asa? What? It belongs to the land now? Whatever grows on the land? Who made it work? Sheshanim tizra sadecha. You worked hard on your field in order to have a harvest. This harvest is not considered the earth harvest. It's considered your harvest. So why it says tevu asa? Ubashana hashevis, and on the 7th year, and you know what? The truth is, this whole pasuk has no place here. We talking about Shemitah, about not working on the 7th year. Don't tell me, if you tell me don't work on the 7th year, I know automatically that during the 6th year I can work. So obviously, if the pasuk wrote this here, shesh shanim tizra sadecha, that you shall work, it means it's an obligation to work. What you're going to tell me? Baruch Hashem, I'm beshepa, I have fields. I don't want to work them. I'm obligated to work them. That's what this pasuk says. Is it a mitzvah? Is it a tzivui? Because otherwise, he has no place. He could have said Veshavsar es Shabbos Lashem, Ubashana Hashevis, without even mentioning this pasuk. Ubashana Hashevis, look at him. It's missing a yud. By the time I go into that. Ubashana Hashevis. Oh, now it's a different thing. It's not Shabbos Lashem anymore. It's Shabbos Shabbosain, like it says in Yom Kippur. But Yom Kippur, you can do a melacha, you can do anything. Here, you can. The only thing you're not allowed to do is sow and harvest your field. But it's not for you. Shabbos Shabbosain yihyeh la'aretz. Before it was Veshavsa ha'aretz Shabbos Lashem. Only a Shabbos. Now it's double Shabbos. Shabbos Shabbosain yihyeh la'aretz. Shabbos Lashem. Again, this Shabbos Lashem. Sadecha lo yisizra v'chamecha lo yisizra. Okay. Esifiyach ketzirecha. So when you harvested the sfichim is when your harvest on the 6th year, automatically grains fall to the ground. So you didn't sow your field, but grains fall and they're going to regrow. And these are the ones that are going to grow during the Shemitah, and you're not allowed to harvest them. Lo yisikter. Ves invei nezirecha, and the vine is going to grow no matter what. But what? Invehu? We're talking about Nazirim here? What's in the grapes of the Nazirim? Should I say invecha? What the Nazirim have to do here? Lo yisiftzor. You're not allowed to harvest. You're not Shabbat. Oh, no, it's not Shabbat. So we had before, I'm going to put it in different color. So you see, and I'm going to start this year because we have enough. Now we have a Shna Shabbosin Yehi Elaretz. I hope I'm going to make it over. And now it's Shabbos heart. There we go. Another one. What is the Torah trying to teach us here? Kodesh Baruch Hu, obviously, every word has a target. And every word has a meaning. But we see the words changing, describing the same thing, but under a different definition. What is the Torah trying to tell me? The Hoisa Shabbos Haaretz Lachem Leochla. But I thought I was not allowed to, it says here, Lo Yisiktzor, Sephir, right before that. As Sephir Ketzirecha, Lo Yisiktzor, you're not allowed to harvest them. But it says, the Hoisa Lachem Leochla. It's going to be for you to eat. And not only it says it once, the second time, Lecha, for you. Yeah, you're asking question. No, it's for you. Ulavdecha, you can't even share it. It's not like the Kedusha of Truma. Ulavdecha, vela'amasecha, and your servant also. Velizchircha, and if you have an employee, go ahead, give it to him. Ulsei shavecha, and anyone that resides on your land. Hagarim imach, that live with you. Oh, really? So I can lock my doors of my field and basically share amongst these people the whatever harvest is going to be, and then I'm allowed to harvest it, right? That's what it seems. However, we have a pasuk at the end of the Parasha of Shemitah. It says, "Vehashvis tishmetena untashta." Tishmoit, it means to remove, to cancel, and it's going to become hefker. Vashvis, the seventh year, oh, it's missing a year. And when it's going to say Bashana Hashminis, Bashana Hachis, it's going to miss a yud also. I cannot bring everything. Interesting orthograph, interesting language. Here it says, Ve'achlu evyoine amech. We're not talking about anymore for you. So why is the Torah telling me? In one hand, you can eat it. Can't be clearer than this. And here it says, no, it's not for you. And the leftover, the Yisra, what's going on? That's it. Sorry, this passage is in Parasha Shemot, in Parasha's Mishpatim. So how is it possible that we go from one side? This is a clear contradiction in the mitzvah. What am I supposed to do? We know one thing. We know we have 6 days in the week. We have a seventh. We're not allowed to do any work. It's called Shabbos. We know what Shabbos is. Shabbos is Keneged the Malchus, the lower of the seventh midos, the last one. And Shabbos is, we learned it before, it's giving Shefa to the 6 days of the weeks. The more you keep Shabbos, the more light you receive from the Shekhinah, the more in other words, the more bracha you receive during the 6 days. And the less effort you have to do in order to accomplish your work, and the less stumble blocks you have on the road, and the less people can against you, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. Here we have something very similar. We have a machzor, which is a cycle. 6 years, you can do what you want. On the 7th year, you cannot do nothing. You can do nothing. What is this similarity? Because the Shvis is the Malchus. Every time we call Shvis is the Malchus. So why is the Malchus missing a Yud? The Malchus should have a Yud. We are Mekayim the Shemitah. You're Mekayim Shabbos. It's Yom HaShvi. Then we're gonna go to a place where we're gonna see that these psukim have nothing in common with how we explain them. Totally different word. And it's gonna fit exactly like a foot in a shoe. Exactly. It's just the habit, the concept we have in our head about the Shemitah is so wrong that we are led to translate the psukim that way. But we're gonna go to a place where everything is sunny, everything is beautiful with the breeze. The Zohar HaKadosh explains, very famous pasuk brought in the Gemara in a few places. Let's go into the pasuk because it's gonna be fundamental, that pasuk. Baruch Hu Hashem Malachav, says David HaMelech. Malachim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you want to translate bless him, okay. I guess Pshat. Like we can bless HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Anyway. Baruch Hu Hashem Malachav, the Malachim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless him. Giboire Choyach, the Giborim, the strong of strength. So it's just to reemphasize the level of strength they have. They're not just Giborim strong, but the Giboire Koyach fear nothing. Oisei Devaroi. They accomplished his words, his saying. Lishmoya bekoel Devaroi. To listen to the sound of his dibur. I don't know any way to explain that. Bekol Devaroi, to his dibur. 1 second. Oisei Devaroi, the mekayim, the tzivui, the mitzvahs of Hashem, lishmoya bekoel Devaroi. But if you already did it, why do you need to listen? So there's a big tumult in the Midrashim, in the Zohar about this. Here we're talking about first pshat, the Bnei Yisrael by Mount Sinai, they said, Nase v'nishma. And this is what describes David HaMelech, Oisei, before Lishmoya. So we're talking about the Nase before the Nish. So again, Hadekol, Baruch Hu Hashem, Mal'achav, Giboire Koyach. The Zohar HaKadosh learns this pasuk a little bit differently. He says, Baruch Hu Hashem Malachav. We're not talking about Malachim. No, we're talking those Malachim which are those powerful men that can accomplish before they can even hear. Meaning they have a hunch what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from them, and they do it. These are considered by HaKadosh Baruch Hu like the Malachei Elyonim, the Malachei Asharetz, and he's very proud of them. These are these Malachim, which are these people, are slamming the ground with the Yetzer Hara. They overpower the Yetzer Hara to be Mekayem, the Dibur of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And why do we compare them to Giborei Koyach, says the Zohar HaKadosh? Same way that a strong person, when he has a weak enemy, he finishes it in 2 seconds. This one also, it doesn't take time to go back and forth in order to figure out if yes or no they're going to do the mitzvah. And these people are considered to the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu like the highest level of malachim, to the point that the Zohar says, who can stand by tzaddikim like this? And because they're like a burning coal, that anyone that approaches them, the Kedusha is so tremendous that they burn. Then the Zohar brings some psukim in order to praise them, how high they are. Who are these people? Who are these people that we call Giborei Koyach? So in the Midrash Tanchuma this week, you have a few options. It could be Moshe Aaron, but it settles on the Shomrei Shvis. We are talking about people probably not the highest in the hierarchy of the Jews, probably toward the low end, the peasants working in the field, taking care of the trees, plowing the field, with the animals, being the animal during the whole day. These are the people that Malachim Kedoshim, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so proud of them because they're Mekayim a mitzvah. Well, I'm sitting and learning the whole day, me. How much more so? No. It doesn't work. The Gemara says in Brachas Ches Amud Aleph, Omar Rabbi Chia Barame Mishme de Ula. Rabbi Chia Barame says in the name of Ula, Gadol Hanehene Migia Yoseh Miyarei Shamayim. Someone who benefits from his own hard work is above someone who is Yarei Shamayim. Because by the one of the Yarei Shamayim, it says in the Pasuk, Ashrei Ish Yarei Hashem. Praise the person that really fears HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He got to the midah of Yira. So it means in the midah of Ahava, because Ahava precedes Yira. So it's really Ve'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavecha b'chol nafshecha b'chol meidecha. He already passed it. So we're not talking about a Yarei Shamayim, a small person. We're talking about a tzaddik. But someone who works and lives off his work, supports himself, it says, Yegia kapecha kisoichel, the labor of your hand you will eat, ashrecha v'toivla. You are praised in olam haba and in olam hazeh. The other one, the Yarei Shamayim, is only praised once, which is a praise for olam haba. But he's not in on such a high madrega. The higher madrega is that person that's going to go and work hard on his field. He will not put himself on the tzibur. And some say that the Rishonim is also Yarei Shamayim. Obviously, let's take right now, I don't want to go into this. I don't want to go into the Parasha, but I just want to go on a high level because this is not our message, my message in this year. But you see the praise towards clearly from Rabbi Chia. towards someone that sustains himself from his work. A person like this can reach the level of Giboy Rekoyah. A Yarei Shamayim, no. Shem Rishvis, the simple people. They live in the Kfar there in the northern Israel or in the south. They have an accent. They don't look the cleanest. You know, they may even have sometimes a smell or dirty hands when they come to Shul to daven. But the Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu called them his Malachim, Malachi Ashares. When we know the definition of Malachi Ashares means other Malachim cannot come close to them. They're very scared of their fire. These are the people. Who are they? Shem Reshvis. They become one mitzvah, and you give them a title like this. Us, we have to go through quite some hardship, in order to get there. Why? Because his kovesh is yitzroy. He is able to overcome his yetzer hara. Let's look at the pshat of these words. What the Zohar told us, because here we're going to start building a knowledge base for the final answer. Kovesh Esitzro. We all know it's a big mile of this, right? To be Kovesh the Yetzer Hara. This equals to 1035. How many times it says oyer in the Torah? You can open your microphones. Come on. How many times it says in the Torah the word oyer? All right. Here now one. At least those from Shabbos should know. It's part of the fives. 5 times oyer. 5 times 207 equals exactly 1035. A person, no matter what the mitzvah, he has to overcome his Yetzer Hara. He gets the Oyer and Sof. He is like a Malach Hashem. He overcame it. Really? Okay, let's check it up. So he says that he's a Malach Hashem Tzevokes. I don't want to write it. I'm going to write it like this. Same as last week, 6:16. All the shemis of the Bina. Just for those who are not familiar with that. All the Kehye, Kasar, actually it's the Kavanas of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Magen Avraham, Ata Gibor, this is the Aleph Ke Yud Ke. Ata Kodesh is the Kamag. And the 4th bracha is this Aleph Ke Yud Ke. So now you know the Kavanas of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Clear Kavanas on this, very simple. So we have 161 plus 161 plus 143 plus 151 equals 616. A person, when the Bina shines upon a person, he has the din of a Malach Hashem Tzevakis. Am I here? Interestingly, like last week, equal Yisrael Kohen. When the Israel is attaching himself to the source of Kedusha, he's elevated, the Bina shines upon him. And we're going to see here, it's a different way. Why? Because it says in the Pasuk here by the Yovel, Kodesh Tihye Lachem. We all know the difference And otherwise, I'm just going to repeat it one more time to make sure everyone understands. Sometimes it says, Kedoshim tiyu, Kodesh tiyelach, Kodesh. 1 second. Kodesh, Kodesh. It's the same letters, but it's a different punctuation. What is Kodesh? What is Kodesh? Chochmah is above Chesed. Kohen Gadol is in Chochmah. Kodesh is in Chochmah. Kodesh gives out Kedusha and makes Kodesh. Kohen that comes is in Chesed, he is Kodesh. Kodesh is the Kohen Gadol, the Chochmah. In other words, in these few words, the Torah already pointed me out that when the person is Shomer Shvis, is not working in his field during the 7th year, there's the Chachma and there's the Bina shining on him. Abba ve'ima. Look how high he is, way above the 7 lower midas. He is by the 3 first. The first 3. Unbelievable. What has he done so special? Explains the Midrash Tanchuma. When someone comes into your field, you see a foreigner coming to your field, and he stumbles everywhere. He doesn't know your field. He doesn't know your plants. He doesn't know the need. He doesn't know anything. He comes, he breaks the branches. Oh, another branch that's not going to have fruit next year. You know, they pull widely the thing. They uproot the wheat from the ground. You see, it breaks your heart. You have to control yourself. You want to take a gun and say, get out of my properties. I'm ready to do shvis, but please behave nicely with the trees. And you stay and remain quiet. We're not talking about some fantasy. It's so hard to make shvis. I want to work. No, very practical. It's hard to see people that don't understand gardening. They come to your orchard and they destroy it. And you say, you scratch your head. How am I going to eat now? I live off this orchard. I take the fruits and I sell them in the market. That's how I have money to buy for milk, to buy for cheese for the children, to buy for eggs. What am I going to do? I see destruction in front of my eyes. And you got to be quiet. Kili haaretz, says Hashem. Right? Yeah. Hashem says you have to do the Shemitah. Why? Because the land belongs to me. But I told you to remember that the second pasuk said, Asher ani noisen lachem, that I'm giving it to you. So is it mine or is it yours? Which pasuk is not correct? Because this is a stira. This is a clear contradiction. Hashem cannot tell me, do the Shemitah because the land is mine. On the other hand, if he says the land is yours to us, and by the way, I guess when Yeshua came to Eretz Yisrael, he fought for the land. They went to war with 31 kings. So how can you tell me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that the land is yours? We did a kinyan here with kovesh. Yes, you helped us. To the maximum, it's called a din ze v'ze goyrem. When you have two things that let's say for Shabbos, you see this in Siman Shin Ches in Muktzeh. You have a drawer on Shabbos which has Muktzeh, has your cigarettes where you don't smoke, so it has your money or your car keys or whatever, but it has a sefer and you want the sefer. So since you have two things and not only one that could overcome the other, and the sefer obviously is very valuable to you, you can use that drawer. That drawer can be used on Shabbos. In many instances, you have these things. So okay, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you helped us, but we were kovesh down here. We went to war. What did we go to war for then? So how can the land be yours? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you are Sefer Tzedek. how said the pasuk in Azinu, when Abel tzaddik v'yashar hu. If it's the land of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he's giving to us, okay, I can understand. You made it tnai. It's like somebody giving a present to his friend, al tnai, on a condition. Kol tnai shebemamen, no kayam. Any condition you do on financial transactions, the transaction depends on the condition. That this I would understand. Neither you gave it to us. You might have given it to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, but we inherited it. On the other hand, that's a full Kenyan. On the second hand, we went to fight for it. So, what is the Torah wanting to tell us here? Because now I see those guys trampling over my trees. They go hard on the ground. The roots are not going to be able to grow. The next fruiting season is probably going to be in 2-3 years till all this damage is done. How am I going to live in the meantime? You worry. But you know the word of HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you, that you have to listen. I'm in charge. And you look, your eyes show you disaster, but your heart tells you, I trust Hashem. You'll give our prayers. Because a person ingests the data through his eye and automatically try to translate that in his mind. And what you see is disaster, catastrophe. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm responsible. You will have your harvest on the 9th year, on the 8th year. You will have it. And the Midrash Rabbah brings a proof to this. It says in the pasuk, "Vezei devar Shemita." This is the saying, devar, dibur, of the Shemitah. And in that pasuk that we brought, it says the one Asiya oisei devaroi, to accomplish his words, his sayings. So davar says the Midrash, when we say Gibor Koyach, obviously we're talking about the Shomer Shvis. Now we have unveiled one tiny point here about the reason of why they are estimated to be, like Malachim. Because it's a very hard mitzvah. They have to overcome everything their eyes and everything their brains say. So why is it? We see, don't want to spend too much time. Time is flying. That's always, I realize that. We see Dvar Hashem, which is always the Shechina. Hashem, when we speak about Hashem, is Hashem. Hashem Eloikecha, you add a word to Hashem, it's always the Shechina. So when the Shechina is beyichud with Hashem, her name is Hashem Eloikecha. Dvar Hashem. So we explained during the shiurims in the past that this points us, when you start understanding how the Olam Atzilus is working, you start understanding why is the Shechina called so many names. It's really a stupid question. Because you have, in our world, drivers, engineers, accountants. Their work defined the name. Where are you? I'm an accountant. Or I'm a lawyer. Or you define yourself from the group of activity you're doing. The Shechina, whichever activity it's doing at that point, will define its name. So when we say Devar Hashem, the Dibur of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's the Shechina. Where is the Shechina? Calculate Midvar Hashem. You know where the Shechina is. How much is Dvar Hashem?
232.
How much?
Ravad.
Huh?
Ravad.
Very good. Who said that?
Menachem.
Ask you a question. You're not allowed to let me dry up. Who said that?
Menachem.
Oh, Menachem. Good. Okay. So Dvar Hashem is 232. 232 is a magical number. July 4th, at the power July 4th, the name of Yud Ke Vav Ke with the 4 different feelings. In other words, to show you one more time, Yud Ke Vav Ke in the different feeling. In Atzilus is written with Yuds in here. In Beria, there's a Vav in the thing versus the Yud here. That's only change. It's the Bina. Yud Ke Vav Ke, this Kucha Berichu in the Olam HaYetzira. Yud Ke Vav Ke, these 4 together equals 232. Once you have this, this tells me the HaKadosh Baruch Hu just had the machshava to do something. We call it Dvar Hashem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't need to speak. It's Allah b'machshavto in the Midrash of Bereshit. It just has to think about something and it becomes, that thing creates itself. It's just Allah b'machshavto shamayim, boom. The skies created themselves. With what? With this name. Who carried the name? The Shekhinah. So whenever the Shekhinah is in mission to carry the Ab Sag Ma Ben, the 4 names that we just seen, it's called Dvar Hashem. Now you know. So here we have Vezed Dvar Hashemita. What's hidden in there? Because there's a fundamental question that we resolved last week for the Yisrael and the Kohen. How can you elevate yourself to Kedusha before you tahor? You always have, through a Torah, purify yourself. Everybody is a sinner. We need to purify ourselves, that we can sanctify ourselves. So how can you want to tell me, okay, they're simple people and everything, they don't sin so much. Fine, I'll take it. But they sin a little bit. So how can they go up in the Atzilus like the Malachi Asharet? You cannot have a single sin to go there. Moshe Rabbeinu, in description, when Moshe Rabbeinu went up in Shemayim, he was very fearful. And Malachim tried to attack him. They don't use the attack because we have sins. How is it possible? And Moshe was free of all sins. How do you want to tell me that human are going all the way up there? I'm going to show you the answer. I don't think I wrote it, this puzzle, so I'm going to write it very quick. Just what we brought now. It says here, I'm not going to put the vowels because I don't have time. Veze devar hashemita. This equals to 583. Equals Vehu Rachum Yechad. You want to tell me that the Shemitah acts like a mikveh? Yes. That's the hint in the Midrash. And the proof is equals also Begei Tzal Mavis. The person can be not only a little sinner, a heavy sinner. Where is he evolving? In Gehenna. He's already in Gehenna in this world. Gei Tzal Mavis is the Gehenna, is the valley of death. In other words, the Gehenna. But he's Shomer Shvis. Vehu Rachum Yechad. What's the magic in this mitzvah that we have in no other mitzvahs? that is mechaper avodas. We wish we'd have it. Because Shabbos Shabbosan, now we start thinking, it's called also Shabbos Shabbosan. Who's called Shabbos Shabbosan Yom Kippur, I said. Yom Kippur is mechaper. This is mechaper. Okay, a little bit of an answer, a little bit of a light. Yes, it's a good sushtel. It's a good comparison. I like it. But we're still on the peel of the onion. This is not, we need to know inside, what triggers these flashes, that changes a person from being in Gehinnom to being ejected to being to the Atzilus with like the Malachi Asharis. The Sefer HaChinuch, right in this mitzvah, so the mitzvah starts it's in Pedala, the mitzvah Pedala, that's where it starts. What's the reason of the Shemitah HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us? I'm going to go quicker than I thought because of time, and I really want to go somewhere to give you a tremendous light, the Ilui Nishmat Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, tremendous light. So a person, it's along the Midrashim. You can see it's along exactly the Zohar, but I want to bring it even through Halacha. He says he teaches a person to be forgiving. Vasranus. You see what you see, but you don't act upon it. You forgive. Why? Because you have bitachon in Hashem. Finally, we talked about bitachon, about Shemitah. Basically, the chinuch tells me this mitzvah comes to teach two attributes to the person, vasranus and bitachon. And what do I do with that? How these two magical attributes, work for me in order to provide all the essential thing that we have seen that the Shem Reshvis, what they see. I mean, where they go, how they become. Malachi Elyon. The Sefer HaChinuch was a Rishon. His words are full of kedusha, and they all wrote the Rishonim with Ruach HaKodesh. Look at this. If you're taking this word that he's bringing, Vasranus, let's take, I always like to check what is a midah. This equals to 1062. You know what it equals to? A very interesting midah. I have shalom, ve'roidef shalom. Whose midah is this? The midah of the kohen. What is the second midah? The chinuch said bitachon equals 75 equals kohen. It's not. Look, we saw from the very beginning that we were, scratching a little bit the surface of last week's Parasha about the kohen and what we said. But here, it's obvious. The Shomer Shvis takes upon himself the midah of the kohen, and that's why he is forgiving. He is not acting upon what he sees, but he has a bitachon, and bitachon is the midah of kohen, is the midah of kedusha. He has taken the path of the Yesod, Shalom. He has taken the path of the Chesed, and now it's a pity if I had time, and I would explain you how he's taking the path and how, in the name of Hashem, Kel, exactly how that path is going. It's amazing in the words. We see it mamish in front of our eyes. But I guess when we'll advance on Shatanta that we start the Shabbos versus Hashem. We finished the first parak in Otzos Chaim. So the Parasha, we'll understand it a lot more. Now, what if we take the both together, Vasronus and Bitacha, and you put them together? We know one is 1,062, and the other one is 75. It's 1,137. 1,137, that's a tough one. But actually, it's very simple. It's Torah Tefillah. What is it telling? A person who has these two meters, basically, his work, his hardship, because he knows when he works during the 6 years, he has to produce, he has to make, because he has to live the 7 years. So it's always one of the 6, and we are forced to count them, like the Omer. So it's 1 of 6, 2 of 6. It's always connected to that Kedusha of the Shvis. It's Torah. This person is always davening to Hashem. Hashem, it's in your hand. We need to have rain, which is the subject of next week Parasha. We need to have rain. Otherwise, I put all my money in the ground and I'm going to be broke and will starve, me and my family. So he has, not only on the Shvis, all the 6 years, this person has because. And that's why when he comes into the Shvis, it's again an expression, sure, at a way higher decibels of these meters. But these are meters that are inside, and that's why they fully deserve the title of Baruch Hu Hashem Malachav. These are the true Malachim of HaKadosh Baruch. Like again, and I bring you back so you really understand it. The Gemara in Brachos Ches Amud Aleph, Omar Rabbi Chiya. Godol Anehine Miyegiyot. The one who supports himself is bigger than someone that's Yerei Shamayim. And I welcome you to look at all the pshatim you want there. So what did he say? He needs this guy. He needed rain. Let's see in the pasuk. I'm not going to be able to answer everything, but where is the Veshafsa Haaretz? The first one. Let's take the first one. Okay, right at the beginning. Let me find some room here. Veshafsa Haaretz. Hashem says the land has to rest. Okay, so what do I do when it rests? You do 1,009. That's all you do. You let it rest. You don't get the code in this. If I want to write matar in full, it's mem, tes, resh, equal 1,009. Once you let, it's exactly like Shabbos, that Shabbos gives life. I didn't want to go into this, but I think I have to explain you this. Shvis, and I think I'm going to go more on it on Shabbos to explain the. I just want to touch it for those here because it's also very important. So you have the Shemri Shvis. They do great. Now, exactly as Shabbos provide inside power of Bane Chaye Mezoine, Be'er. The Shechina, when a person keeps Shabbos properly, puts Mayim Chayim, live water, meaning water from the Bina, inside the Be'er. Eloikim Chaim, Zachenu Lechaim, Melech Havetz B'Chaim. Where is this Mayim Chaim? This is what we get. This is what we daven for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Now you're doing it every Shabbos. That's why Kapras Avonis on Shabbos and so forth. It's not a shir on Shabbos, but understand a second. And we said that already in the past. What is the gematria of Be'er? Simple. 203. Gemara in Shabbos. Bane chaye mezoine b'mazalia talia. Bane, children. Mezoine, chayim, chaye, not to be sick. Chaim, to be alive, it means not to be sick, health. Mezoine, panasa, you don't want to be tight, you want to be berevach. The mazala talyo depends in the mazel. That's Rabbi Yechna. Really, in the mazel, bnei Yisrael, lemala mina mazel we are. Which mazel? Be'er. Be'er equals to Vayar, when Yaakov comes, sees a be'er. When Avram goes, a be'er. When Yitzchak goes, a be'er. When Moshe goes, a be'er. What means a be'er? Be'er is a name of the Shechina. When the Shechina is about to provide, it got filled up with Mayim Chaim. What is Mayim Chaim? How much is Bane Chaye Mezoine? Exactly the language of Rabbi Yochanan. Equals 203 be'er. When is the Shechina be'er? When it's filled up with Bane Chaye Mezoine and is about to pass them on to the Bnei Yisrael. That's when the Shechina turns into so now when the people are keeping the Shvis the proper way, automatically the bracha, there's a special bracha that goes into the 6 years. Their work on the 6 years is not the work like the guy next door. The works next door has to plow, his plow is breaking. So you'd know. Everything is smooth. The rocks move away from this plow. They're not going to break it. Nothing's going to happen. When it comes up, the harvest is humongous. While the guy there has the same type of ground and dirt, he barely gets something. Barely gets food to put on the table for half a year. What's the difference? The difference is the bracha. Venosati es birkasi. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu, nothing happens. HaKadosh Baruch Hu did the whole Shemitah for 2 reasons. One reason to know, stop being donkeys, stop carrying, stop being on the X, be on the Y. You remember last week? Like in mathematics, you have an X and a Y. Whenever Nisayon come to a person, it's only a message. Elevate yourself. Go up on the Y. On the Y, one more step. You're going to go over the Nisayon. You do not need to take a hammer and a chisel and fight that rock, which is on your way. Go above it. That's the siman, and the Nisayon will disappear. Here, also, why work so hard? So now you understand the obviously the tzivu. Yes, 6 years you will eat from it because you don't eat food from the ground. You eating you gibore koyach. You eating the man. You eating lechem abirim. This is good for you. This is upkeeping your life. This is giving you all the brachas because Hashem is in there. You understand why now we have a chiyuv also to work for 6 years? For sure, to enable us to count the years till the Shemitah. But the bracha of the Shemitah goes in the land, the Sadeh. Who is the Sadeh? The Shekhinah. What do you mean? So when I plow my field, I'm plowing the Shekhinah up there? Yeah, sure. Why? Because you did it here. What is the Shekhinah? The Shekhinah is the only midah that has nothing on its own. It's the Levana. It's the moon. The moon can only reflect the light of the sun. The sun is the Shemesh, the Yesod. So whatever light Kudsha Baruch Hu shines upon the Shekhinah, she can shine back down here on earth. So when a person allows the Aniyim to come during the Shemitah and eat at will whatever they want from his field, and they're joyous because now it's like they own the field, they come to the field, they take whatever they want, nobody tells them nothing. What do? You rejoiced the upper Ani. Who is the upper Ani? The Shekhinah. Who is responsible of Aniyim? The Shekhinah. There's a tremendous midrash this week we're going to learn on Shabbos. If it was not written black on white and you would see it with your own eyes, you would say, I'm inventing something. If it's not in the word of the Tanoim HaKadoshim, it's unbelievable what it is. Unbelievable. So what purpose is the Shekhinah or the Shemitah serving already? We have seen two. Number one, because by relying upon HaKadosh Baruch Hu and understanding Kili Haaretz, it doesn't mean it's my land. Yes, it's my land. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Loi Haaretz Loya. Everything is his in this whole world. But in truth, today, this land is mine. But this land is worthless without the bracha. So we want to make it Hashem's land. And that's what we do when we prevent ourselves from plowing the field, and we enable. So we have Vasranus, we have Bitochen, it's forgiving, we have Bitochen in Hashem. The 6 years are blessed, and not with any blessing, with the Ralab, with the Absag Maben, with all the name of the Yud Kevav in full. I mean, look at the amount of oil. This is not food, this is man that comes in, that grows in that field. And the second part is tzedakah, because tzedakah tatzil mimaves, and there's a few things we're gonna have to see, but I want to say it very, very quickly, is by the fact we're helping the ani, and it's like giving him back alive. The Shekhinah says, I never showed you that one. I'm going to show you something a little bit. Actually, it's amazing. I came across by chance, Baruch Hashem. You see, at any time you come. We have the Malchus to understand it. And everything is in this work. If I write it in full, Mem, Lamed, Chaf, Vav, Saf. Okay? But now I would like to calculate only the inside, what's inside it, what makes the Malchus. Someone can go faster than me. Please tell me the number, because it's an amazing number. You know it very well. Amazing.
$196.
You made it or not yet? You're an accountant. You're a CPA.
196.
Huh?
196.
196. What is 196? Do you remember from the Kavanas of the Shulchan? 196 is Yam Suf. All the dinim come from the Shekhinah. The Shekhinah has no light. If you don't generate light, you get darkness. Yam Suf is a yam in ebullition. So when the Shekhinah, and I saw that after that in the Emek HaMelech in a different way, you know, how he brings what how he saves, the Shemitah says really along these words. Once you go help a poor person, automatically you help the upper ani. What do? You remove these yams. What happens is, yes, there was a din that came out of the Shekhinah. You can't go back on it. It says this person has to leave this world because it's kaparas avoinus on him. He did so much. His seya is full. Males also, even these words seya, you know, if you he filled it up, there's nothing we can do with him. And then boom, ani comes. The guy gives him nicely, rejoices him, revives him, and gives him even a pruta. It's nefesh tachas nefesh. That's the din in Shamayim. We provide that person a new life. In other words, the other life is gone, is mechaper avoinus, because it was carried out, the nefesh that was supposed to go went, and because of the mitzvah, the nefesh is renewed. You understand why the Shemitah now is mechaper avoinus? Whenever the person, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, did it on purpose in order to wash out the Bnei Yisrael from every 7 years, because 7 years you come to the dinim, to the malchus. So before the malchus comes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a mitzvah. Please cleanse up yourself, because otherwise you may not be a happy camper by the end of this year, by the next Rosh Hashanah. That's the. And I'm going to finish on two. I would like to show you just two other. I don't know where I wrote it. I don't know. Okay, I wrote it somewhere, but I don't remember where. You know, Menachem, why I can look at, I can find them quickly. So we have here. So I'm going to give you one. Hashem said, maybe I have it in the pasuk here. No, I don't have. Kigerim v'teishavim atem iman kili haaretz kigerim v'teishavim. So if I don't have, I didn't say it. I don't have to bug you with this. I'm just gonna give you then another one instead. All right. When Bnei Yisrael do not accomplish the Shemitah, automatically the earth will revenge, because now you understand why, because it's the Malchus, and kick them out of the land. They're going to go into Galus. But here it's outside the Shabbat. So Yisrael, Bosh Shama Mehem, in Pashas Kisavoy, the Gemara says, Mishnah, it's Galus. They have to be, that's why they went to Bavel for 70 years, because they missed 70 Shemitah. Go understand what it means. But we're not into that. That's the side of Shabbos Lashem. Because if you take here, that's the name of this name. What it means, Shabbos Lashem equals 758, equals Tzion V'Yerushalayim. It'll never be taken away. Sorry, forgot a yud here. Yerushalayim. It cannot be taken away, Tzion, meaning the Harabais and the city of Yerushalayim, as long as we do the Shabbos Lashem. And if we don't, then it's equal to Mashkas. That's the soil. Now, what's in there for us in here? We can make a Shemitah every day of our life with the midah of being forgiving, Pasranus, because otherwise it's only a game. Let's not take the data and process them like a goy. We have to process them like a yid. It's all HaKadosh Baruch Hu behind every HaKadosh Baruch Hu has Hashgacha Pratis. The second thing is to have a tremendous bitach. Don't doubt. It's Hashem. I'm doing that job. It's Hashem wants. I'm doing that job. It's Hashem. I'm not doing this. Hashem wants that from you. Period.